Okay, here we are today. So we're going to go through the full body range of motion movements. These movements are meant to check in with your range in all joints, and also to explore if there's discomfort or pain in the body in a certain range that we may not be aware of. So I'm going to do each exercise 8 times. You can follow along with me if you like. And we're going to start with the neck today and move our way down to the feet and on out through the arms. Okay, so starting with your first movement, we're just going to nod, the most common movement, nodding the head forward, bringing it to the chin, and extending to the ceiling for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good. So up and down, and then now we're going to look right to left or left to right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good. And now we're going to go lateral flexion. We're going to go ear to shoulder. 1, 2, 3, 4. Be gentle with your neck. 5, 6, 7, 8. Good. Now we're going to do a little circumducting. We're going to trace, look to the right or left, and you're going to trace down your chin to the other side and look and up. And you're going to look up to the ceiling, 3, up to the corner, down, chin traces along the collar of your shirt, 4. Make sure you're breathing, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Good, and back to neutral. And just kind of gently move the head and neck around. If you're feeling any pain or discomfort with those movements, you can do a little bit more and see if it starts to soften as you go. If not, it might be a deeper problem and maybe you need body work or maybe some chiropractic work. Okay, so now we're going to look at the shoulders. We're just going to elevate the shoulders high up, bring them to the ears, or shoulders to your ears, and then we're going to try to depress the shoulders, reaching the hands down towards the ground without folding forward. Elevate the shoulders, depress the scapula or the shoulders. 3, 4, 5, really pushing down, shoulder away from the ears. 6, 7, 8. Good, and relax there. Now we're going retracting the scapula and protracting. So we're going to go 1, and push back. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good. That one starts to wake up the middle of the spine and the thoracic, and also opens the chest a little bit as well. Good. Now we're going to rotate up and put those together. So we're going up and back and forward. We're going up and around. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good. And now we're going the other direction. 1, 2, 3. You may find that it's tougher one way. 5, 6, 7, 8. Good. All right, now from there we're going to go into our shoulders, and we're going to go full range and going to go flexion of the shoulders, just reaching up as high as you can, palms facing each other, and then reaching back for 1, Inhale up 2. Make sure you're not holding your breath with any of these movements. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Good. Again, checking in with your range. Is one side feel different than the other side? Okay, now we're going flexion, and then now we're going circumduction. We're going all the way out as far around as you can. One direction here. Over, around 2, 3. I like to inhale as I come up. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good. Shake that out, and we're going to reverse it. This one might be a little bit more sticky for some of you. 1, 2. Only explore the range that you have. Shouldn't create too much pain or discomfort. 5, 6, 7, 8. Good. Now that will get blood flowing in your neck and your shoulders as well. So what we're going to do here is interlock your hands behind you and just do a little stretch right in between. Grab one arm, and you're going to stretch just to the side with that lateral flexion as you anchor the arm down. Good. Anchor and stretch. Good. All right. Now with this one, we're going to go internally rotate the arm first, and we're going to see how far we can reach up our back, reaching towards the scapula. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good. Other arm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Good, and now we're going internal rotate. So that was internal rotation, now we're going external. We're going to bring the arms here and go as far forward as possible. So inhale, 1, forward, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now if you have issues or pain and discomfort in your shoulders, you can do it down here and just rotate down here. In, 2, 3, 4. Rotating your hands forward as far as you can. 7. In, thumbs back, and thumbs open. Good. 8. All right, good. Now we're going to come back to the torso, and we did the movements extending and back. Now we're going to do a little bit more of a lateral. This starts to work down into our abdominal muscles. So this one's a little more challenging for a lot of people to isolate, so don't get frustrated with yourself. Just play with it and see how far you can go. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're going to do a couple more. 9, 10. Good. So that was lateral. We already did forward and back with the protracting and retracting. So now this one is really challenging. We're going to go one direction and then the other direction. And now we're going to try to touch all sides of the movement. So I'm going back to the side, forward, other side, and back. Looks like this from the front. 1. And even if it's small, 2, it's okay. 3, make sure you breathe. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Again, be gentle with yourself. If you don't have that range, it's okay. Just try to make it small. Think about your spine kind of bowing around like an arc or a center line. All right, good. Now we're going to move down to the hips, and we're just going to circle the hips around. We're going to circumduct the hips as if we're kind of moving our hips to try to touch each side of a hula hoop around our waist. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Other way. 1, 2, 3. Just kind of exploring what it feels like in each joint in the hips. 6, 7, 8. Good. And then now we're going to actually hug one arm under and the other arm. So we're going to pull the direction that we're hugging. So we're going to rotate and look as far as we can. Try to keep your feet, pay attention to how your feet are on the ground. I don't want you to peel a foot up at all. Just only go to the foot range that you have. 2, 3. I'm sorry, we're going to be focusing more so on this pulling side. 4, 5, 6. You should feel your abdominal muscles contracting. 7, 8. Good, we're going to switch arms, take the other one and put it under. And this one, if you're feeling pain in your lower back, don't go to where the pain is too strong. Just go just before that and see if you can get things to let go or loosen up a little bit. If it causes too much pain, you don't do it. 5, 6, 7, 8. Good, all right. Very good. So we have rotation, we had circumducting the hips, and now we're gonna go into flexion, okay? So now with this one, it's gonna work down into the hamstrings a little bit and also into the waist as well. Brushing down your thighs and just going as far as you can. If you can get to your feet or your toes or your knees, you make note of that. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, exhale, 6. You may notice you're getting further each time. 7, 8. Good. Now we're going to extend back 8 times, hands on the hips here, or you can take your fist and only go to what feels good. I'm just below, right into the top of my glute here, and then I'm just going to look up and lean back. 1. If this causes pain, you don't do it, or you just go as far as to where it's not pain. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's okay if you slightly bend your knees as well. 7, 8. Good. Right there. Now we're going reaching down one side. We're trying to stay completely lateral like we're between 2 panes of glass. So we're doing a true coronal plane movement. 1, other side. 2, 3, 4. Try to keep the shoulders relaxed. 5, and truly move from the hip or from the flexion of your hips, lateral flexion. 6, 7, Oh, sorry, I did 10 there. Started feeling so good. All right, very good. Now we're going into the knees. We're just gonna do just a quarter of a squat. You're gonna squat down to what feels comfortable. A couple of nuances you wanna focus on is hinging at the hips. You're gonna push your hips back. Your first movement is getting your hips back, okay? So try not to bend and round at the back like so. Keep a chest, proud chest. Push the hips back like you're sitting on a high stool. And then lower down to what's comfortable. And come back up 1. 2. You can again measure your hands down the sides. 3. And if it's just right here, that's fine. 4. 5. If you have the range, go ahead and touch the fingertips to the ground. 6. Main thing is 7, focusing on that hinge in each pattern. So the hips hinging, low back is flat, pushing it back. I'm doing 2 more, a few more, just right there. Okay? You can rewind that and look at that position if you need to perfect that, because that pattern is very important to make sure you're doing it right, because that's one of the main patterns we do. One of the things we do the most in our lives is go from sitting to standing. All right, so that's your squat pattern, kind of checking the knees, seeing how the knees are doing. All right, now we're gonna check on just a little bit of balance. What I want you to do is tip to the outside edge of your feet. And this is just working on supination and pronation in a unilateral way. So we're going to the edge of one foot and the other, kind of like we're skiing. 6, 7, 8. Good. All right. So now you have that. So now we're going to the outside edge of the feet, both outside edges, and then in. So inside edge, outside edge. If any of this bothers your knees or your ankles, just do very small. Just feel the weight shift to the outside a little bit. 6, 7, 8. Good. And now we're going to raise up onto the toe, balls of the foot. Raise up. And then we're going to bring our heels up. 1. Toes. 2. Toes. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. Very good. All right, now the last one, we're going to be moving an integrated movement. You're going to start with your feet together. Toes are going to go out. Then your heels go out for 2 or 3 or 2, sorry. 3 here. And then let's take it one more and bring our heels. So our knees will be straight in line. Okay? And then we're bringing our heels back in. Toes, heels, boom. See if we can get back to that spot we started. So we're starting here. Step 1, go as far out as you can. 2, 3, 4. So we're sitting into pretty much a martial horse stance. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again. 4, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 2, 1. Beginning. One more time. Let's go. Out. Heels. Here. Heels. That last one doesn't need to be really far out on the heels. Just feeling comfortable. Okay. All right, and then shake your legs off. This last one is a balance challenge. You can choose to do it if you like, or you don't have to. But you can do it at different levels. So all you're doing is putting your weight into one side and maybe bringing your toe to the ground like so. And just shifting, feeling your weight distribute from one side to the other. If you're comfortable with the toe down, then maybe you bring this foot up just a little bit. that feels comfortable for you, bring the knee all the way up and grab. All the way up. And just a note, all these exercises can be done sitting as well. Grabbing the knee. Standing, I would say, is preferable with some of these because it works on some of those other muscles. But if you're sitting, you just lean back in your chair and pull the knee to your chest. Good, let's do one more time on each side. Good. And there you go. That's the full movement. Now we're just going to go into a little bit of a gentle, easy twist, just like the corrective routine. Starting just to warm, just to kind of settle things back in. Let your spine regulate again. Inhale up, exhale down. Okay, so there you have it. That's your range of motion movements to be done daily. You can start with doing 8 of each exercise, or you can move up to doing 10. Depends on how much time you have. You can see that took us probably about 15-20 minutes or a little bit more. And doing this daily, taking the time, if you only have time to do a few of each in the morning, some is better than none. So just starting yourself into a regular movement routine where you're exploring the range of motion in each joint as much as possible. Okay, so there you go. Enjoy. Let me know how it goes.